Pounders, we are back doing what we do best, and that is putting $10 into anything that says best ball. And tonight, it's going to be a DraftKings tournament. Welcoming fellow Pounder Tyler. Welcome, my man.
Always a pleasure to be here. Love drafting with the boys.
So, I am not going to lie. I like the payouts for this tournament. I think DK did a good job at kind of leveling off the top. It's not as top heavy. So first place is a milli. Second is 526,000. Third, 400 down to 3, 250, 200. It's not as steep of a fall off. You're actually getting sizable amounts for finishing that high. But that being said, they don't have the regular season payouts like Underdog does. So very similar to Best Ball Mania in the big board. It's going to be tournament style weeks 1 to 14. The top two would advance. And then for the next round, week 15, 1 out of 12, week 16, 1 out of 12 again. And then round 4, which is week 17, 1,364 people. So this tells me a couple things. We're going to need correlations going to be more important in this tournament, and as well as targeting those games that are going to be the high prize games, high scoring games. What is nice is we're already going to be on top of all of this just from drafting so many teams on Underdog, like sickos.
Yeah, for sure. So, I know we touched on it a little bit before we jumped live, too. It's just the payout structure. It's definitely more payout heavy. I mean, the top 10 people are still making in $100,000, which is crazy.
It's
and
nice.
Even if you go into the top 1,000, they're still collecting like $700-800 on a $10 draft entry. So it's super good payout structure for anyone that's interested in that.
Yeah, it's a 1.2 million person tournament, but again, it's a $10 tournament, so I think it's going to attract quite a few people. I wasn't planning on doing any DraftKings this year. This tournament
here we are.
just reeled us in. We're making banners. We're making overlays for this. We're hyped. We're absolutely hyped. In the ADPs, they basically just took Underdog's ADPs, copy pasted them for a tournament that's completely different scoring. And this is the at-home league, the one that I run since 2010. We do this type of scoring before DraftKings was around. Full point PPR bonuses at 300 yards for QBs, 100 yards for rushing and wide receivers. Those are all going to be 3-point bonuses. Beautiful thing. So it's 20 rounds. Just some quick notes. It's 20 rounds, and it's not as juicy to go 3 QBs in this, right? 3 late QBs was a common strategy that we used on the big board. Those QBs aren't really getting that 300-yard bonus, so it's not as pretty, right? With the value, it's just not as good. The spike weeks aren't going to be as big. We need to shoot for upside, especially because if you do make it into that last week for week 17, you're playing against 1,364 people. So upside, you're shooting for upside even more than you are on Underdog with this one. Are you ready to jump in? I'm ready to jump in.
I'm ready to do it. Let's just get it.
Paul, what's up, my man? Welcome to the live stream. Bri H, he says, oh no, I have to max out DK too. That's the way I feel. I feel the same exact way. I just love the payouts. If you guys are just coming in now, take a look at that. Earlier, we just covered it. We're jumping in. We already drafted monsters. What's this say? Okay. So to be prize eligible, you must either edit pre-draft rankings or make a manual draft pick. So basically what it's saying is if you auto pick every single pick, your lineup's dead. They just don't even count it. They take your money, I think. So they don't even count it.
Pay the rake. Love it.
Yeah. Thank you. And I did 3 or 4 so far already, and I've been absolutely loving how my teams have come out. We can actually take a quick peek at one right now. Here it is in the bottom right. We got Justin Fields, Eckler, Breece Hall, CD. Breece Hall felt like 18 picks. Fields, Eckler, Breece Hall, CD Lamb, Mike Williams, not a super PPR guy, but wide receiver was a little short. Trey Burks, who I love. Schultz, Dalvin Cook, Anthony Richardson, Sutton, Mooney, Kmet, Alec Pierce, Jerick McKinnon, who I think is sneaky in full point PPR,
Mhm.
Mayer, Chase Brown, Van Jeffy, and Lenny with Will Levis with the Treylon Burks. And we also bring in Westbrook Klein. So I think that's it's just nasty. I basically got all the guys I wanted to. We got a double stack with Fields, with Komet and Mooney. We got Alec Pierce to go along with Anthony Richardson. Will Levis double stacked as well. And it's interesting. I love these tournaments. Let's go.
Let's get it. Yeah, it's crazy that the ADPs and a lot of these are very similar, like you touched on before.
We're going
It's
JJ first pick.
very similar. Oh, that's fine. I mean,
I don't know what
technical
happened.
difficulties.
Dude,
All
no,
right.
it's DK. Like this is standard. I feel like this is standard. Let me peek. Let me peek the phone. Your snake contest is filled. It'll start in 2 minutes. Even the notification was 2 minutes behind on my phone.
Okay. Well.
Dude, this is not a good start. This is not a good start for DK. Is there a promo code for DK to support the channel? Yeah, I can hook you up in a sec. I can just drop it. I'll drop it in. Dude, it still says I'm on the clock. What happened? What is this?
Wonder if
Reese.
has it started? Has it maybe just not started yet? And it's
Dude, what is this?
did you just pay the rake on it?
No, man, it's not
Just
me.
pay your rake.
All right, let me check my phone. Let me check my phone. What?
Rough start to the
Best ball.
DraftKings look.
Yeah, DraftKings, bad look. No, it's the same thing. Oh no, it says it starts in 3 seconds on my
Okay.
phone.
Well, maybe. Oh, there it goes. There we go.
Dude, what was up with that though? It was just a
I don't know.
pregame lobby. Let me see. That wasn't a good. Yeah, that linked out. Okay, word. What's up? That's strange. I don't like that. Bad start.
That was wild.
Absolutely. So early ADPs, this first round. I'll
Yeah,
tell
what
you
I
who
was gonna
sticks out
say
to
is
me.
like
Let me know. Put it on me.
ADPs, like the fact that a lot of them are sticking the same from underdog to this is kind of crazy, especially when it's a full point PPR and you have those bonuses in play. I think a lot of the guys, like a lot of receivers, should take a bigger jump in this, like in this type of draft with a full point PPR. And a lot of these running backs, like, should be falling back a little more, and certain ones should be rising. I'm shocked that when you said Brees Hall fell to you, like
18 picks, yeah, like 42. He goes to 24.
I'm pretty shocked to see that. I think he's going to be a big pass catching back for Rodgers this year.
Right now, Kupp should probably be ranked 2 or 3 in full point PPR. Eckler should be a top 5. Kelsey, I think you have to bump out to 5, 6. But Eckler and Cooper Kupp should be in this top 2, 3. And I think you can put McCaffrey or Chase, whoever tickles your fantasy. So there's no board, which is so strange. So when you come up on your picks, you basically, it doesn't matter for us because we're in the 1 spot. So we don't have to like check who's ahead and what they need. Like that's so like 2013 Yahoo Yahoo redraft. Brian says he withdrew his entry, then re-entered. Yeah,
I mean, don't blame us. Blame DraftKings on that because there was those weird little technical difficulties there. But
that was funny. Hey, you need a little rocky start to these, though. You need a little rocky start.
Yeah, maybe it's a good sign, though.
Fantasy Football Garage, welcome to the live stream.
What is up?
So we have our Discord come out in a few days. I'm still trying to like code the thing myself. And I'm pretty excited. We're going to have a lot of giveaways going down in that Discord. We're going to be doing a little channel for everyone's lineups. We're going to do draft grades channel where you can just flood all your lineups, your favorites. And then we're going to be doing maybe weekly winners. We'll do like a $10 weekly winner for strongest lineup.
Love it.
Whoever gets voted strongest lineup. I was gonna say we'll do $100 winner for just like each tournament, but let's settle it down there. Those are diapers right there. Those are diapers.
Yeah.
But eventually, if we can get to do more giveaways, I am all about giving back to the community. So smash
For
that
sure.
like button and get us there, and we'll get you there.
Get that sub count up. We'll be able to do way more.
So true. So true. We do this for free. We do this for fun. We do this because we're good at it. Pay me. All right.
So at the 24-25 turn, I mean, do you double up and you take Breece Hall again if he's there? I do like him a lot. I mean, it's a pass catching situation for him with Rodgers, but I don't know. Where's your head at the
I'm
turn?
praying Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown should probably be going around 12, 11, 10. Full point PPR.
Yeah.
You have no Chamo the first 6 weeks. It's going to give you an insane advantage.
Mm-hmm.
I had that last draft I showed you. I believe that was an Eckler Amon-Ra start. Like, yeah, I'll do that
really good
every
start.
single day.
Yeah.
So Amon-Ra does get sniped. I like going receiver here again.
I think Garrett Wilson's going to have a huge year.
Yeah. I like Garrett Wilson, and he fell quite a bit.
His ceiling, I mean, his floor last year was 1,000 yards with who at quarterback?
With 3 different QBs.
And none of them are recognizable. So
I love Lamar here, but we can go Waddle because he fell too. So I think we'll just get a little different. I have these guys as risers anyways.
Yeah.
So let's take them while we can still get all 3 of them on the same correlated team.
Absolutely.
And you bring in a Jets Miami stack, potential week 17 matchup. Huge brain. Mm-hmm. Jay Fresh, welcome to the live stream. What's going on, my man?
And both those receivers taken, they were in tough quarterback situations all year, and they still flourish. So, if you give Waddle a full season with Tua, granted, he stays healthy with the concussion issues and everything.
Yeah.
And Wilson gets a full season with Rodgers. It's going to be a pretty scary offense. I mean, the AFC East, 3 of those teams in the AFC East should be very good. I mean, you picked the fourth one that's not.
Right. These guys smash the 100-yard bonus too. To your point, they are getting the 100-yard bonus bi-weekly. If Tua stays, alive, because when Tua went down, Hill's production didn't really drop, but Waddle's did take a hit. Wilson played his best games under Joe Flacco. Joe Downtown Flacco. So I'm expecting a lot more consistency under Rodgers, and those spike weeks are going to be even bigger. I mean, didn't you hear they brought Randall Cobb back in town? He's now a Jet, following along his buddy Rodgers. That's pretty neat.
Yeah, but I mean, the grand scheme of things, I don't think that does anything to the wide receivers over there. You have a very aging Randall Cobb. If anything, it helps him. I mean, he's probably the 4th or 5th, maybe the 4th, probably the 5th option on that team. He might not get much run, but wide receivers over in New York are actually looking pretty good.
Yeah, no doubt. Lazard, the fact that he signed with the Jets, Rodgers had something to do with that. Lazard clearly was not a wide receiver 1 type guy. I think he'll play the role as a wide receiver 2 a little better.
Absolutely.
And the range is tough though. There's some other guys I like in that range that go Elijah Moore and some running backs like AJ Dillon. But Fantasy Football Garage brings up a good point. Discord has become a great place for best ball discussion, especially versus Twitter. I hate the Twitterverse, man. I'm not going to lie. I do a lot more posting now and a whole lot less reading. I like to just kind of cram all my time in the right place. So accounts that I like to follow, I put those notifications on, ding, and then everything else just kind of Like I'll review like the people we follow in the chat, like their lineups and stuff. I think that's fun. Stay engaged with the crowd. Fancy dysfunctional evening, my man. Max Souths. What's going on, my dude? It's not 2009 no more. All right. Coming on up. Now, some of these QBs, where's the like we have to draft a QB spot? You know what I mean? Like for me, that's probably by Geno. I would
Yeah,
like
that's what I was gonna
we need at
say.
least one because Geno can hit that 300-yard bonus.
Yeah, and I think with the new weapon this year with JSN, I think he's going to be hitting that 300-yard bonus so much more. I mean,
Yeah.
I have a couple of shorts that are going to come out. I don't want to give away everything I'm going to say in those shorts, but if you look at just the distribution of
Show me your
targets,
shorts.
if you just look at the distribution of targets over in Seattle last year, DK and Lockett combined for over 250. 8 other pass catchers had less than 200 on the team. So it's like
Wow.
there's not a lot of there weren't a lot of mouths to feed over there. There's 2 guys getting everything. And you add a third guy into the fold, I think they're going to be throwing a lot more, utilizing JSN out of the slot a lot more. So I think you're going to see Geno take a big rise this year.
Dude, no doubt he's going to be a riser, especially where these ADPs are so fresh and people are still adjusting to that 300-yard bonus. Goff's another one who's going to be hitting that. He'll be a second half type season guy with JMO being suspended. But all right, let's see what we got for roster construction. We pissed yellow for a little bit here. Cooper fell. I'm not really feeling Coop, to be honest. We can go Kirk and Trevor Lawrence. That's a little correlation.
It's a good stack.
I mean, other than that, like sure we could grab Kittle here, but let's get this correlated. Hey Brody, what's up, my man? Donkey on Twitter, I'm assuming. Appreciate you coming out. So this is the new DraftKings tournament. Paying first place is $1 million, second place is like 520K, and then it doesn't really drop off that hard. It goes to like 400, then 350, then 300. Pays out really well. What did we say? The top 10 get
Top
100,
10
150
are still making over 100K. So
and then after that goes to like 80. It's not like doesn't go to 15.
Yeah, exactly.
So it's really nice.
Payouts are really good.
Reed's got you on the T-Mobile? Are you on Johnny's main internet? Fancy Dog Pound Johnny. What's up, Reed? If you guys can, DM me your DraftKings lineups if you've been doing them, because this day one has been pretty nutty when it comes down to value. So top right here says 17 picks, just to kind of show the layout. I am so surprised they did not invest more into this, because I heard that they were kind of like surveying other streamers and people that have big followings and whatever, and ask them what they want to see changed. And from last year, I can't see a change. I didn't do too many. I did around like 18. And I don't see a single change. I had 2 lineups out of those 18 go to week 16, but none survived to week 17. You can't expect it to when you're only doing 18 drafts though.
Yeah.
We did so many on underdog. So many.
We're going to do more this year.
We're going to do 100%. We're going to do more this year. And this is being maxed. I'm telling you right now, this is getting maxed. 2 out of 12 move on, then 1 out of 12, 1 out of 12, and that's like a 1,200 person tourney for $1 million. Dude, I called that. I was close. Mint Mobile. Is that the one that the actor, what's his face?
Ryan Reynolds?
Yeah, is that his? He sold it for like $500 million.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, something crazy.
Fun fact. All right. Pick history. I guess we can do this. So we see Mixon, Pacheco go. Oh, good. You can click on their team and it pops up. Jalen Hurts, Stevenson, Mixon, Adams, Metcalf, Pacheco. I like it, but Metcalf is going to be a faller, in my opinion, this offseason. So Lockett, I like it too. If it's okay for your roster construction, I don't think it's a big deal to take a faller. Like, let's take a look at like Josh Jacobs. If he was good for your roster construction last year and you picked him at pick 55 and he fell to 72, did it kill you? No, he smashed. Now that's not going to happen with every single faller, but if it's correct for your roster construction, I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't over worry about it. Make the right pick. But that's the thing with like drafting so early. People are already trying to pull players, I saw, and it gets tricky with changing ADPs doing
Yeah.
that. Best Bell, what's up, my man? Says, I hate desktop setup for DK. You can play on this, right? Are you going to be streaming these, Best Bell? Let us know in the comments. I don't even have DraftKings, but we're here for the content. Let's go.
Love it.
You guys can sign up here if you want. You don't have to. That is just like me weaning you on.
Just giving you a little bit.
Little taste. I don't even know what the sign up bonus is. I can look into it if you guys want. We just ran in here trying to have a good old time. We're gonna max these. I honestly think that PPR, full PPR is my bread and butter, especially when it comes down to the bonuses. I've been playing this since 2010.
Yeah, I run I run basically the same exact format in like my traditional fantasy league that I've been playing with my friends from home for like 10 years now. So it's just so much easier to know the standard format to you and be able to draft for that kind of play out.
It's much easier, I will say, to go 0 RB in these and like kind of piss yellow like we did.
Yeah.
Let's pull up our squad because you can get guys like Lenny late. Godwin's a great PPR guy. JSN's a great PPR guy. We have 4 receivers. We have to go running back here now.
I think
Cam
White could be
Akers and White.
yeah, I was going to say Akers or White. I think White's going to be a big PPR guy this year.
I'm going to go White ahead of Akers. And then we have James Conner as well.
It's going to be another good PPR back.
There's Tua, but I think we're spreading ourselves too thin. I do want to go another running back here. Godwin's a PPR monster. It's too bad. Pick 60. Yeah. Let's bring in Cam Akers. I think that's fine. Connor's gonna rise from this 80.
Yeah.
But realistically, like Cam Akers should rise as well, and he has the lower ADP, so or higher. And not going to be interested on who?
On Cam Akers than I am, but
dude, they didn't draft anyone. Like even the backup, what's his name? Like Keontae or something, or is that the Arizona? I think that's the Arizona backup. RB.
They had at the end of the season, it was Malcolm Brown, Kyron Williams.
Thank you.
But
yeah. But this is a great spot to select your first running back, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And your second running back. Like you could easily go Rachaad White here and Cam Akers like we did, or go Rachaad White and James Conner, who should have an enormous role in this offense. They didn't draft a running back, so
yeah, they didn't draft running back. They didn't do anything really with the offense other than bring in offensive linemen, kind of protect Kyler and bullshit that run game a little bit. So
right, those are good things. You smashed on that short. If you guys don't know, Tyler dropped that like 6 weeks ago. Corey Evans, yeah, Zach Evans, right?
He
fifth round,
to
fifth or sixth round.
It was later in the draft. It's hard to keep up with a lot of these the later round picks where a lot of those rookies are flying, but I do remember Evans going to LA. But just all the hype surrounding Akers last year, everyone was drafting him like top 40, and I 1%, like one draft that I had him. I mean, granted, I only did around 30 drafts last year. It's my first year into underdogs, but I just was not sold on Cam Akers. I had him in one draft, and
Yeah.
the same people that are telling you to draft Cam Akers this year are the ones that told you to draft him top 30 last year. So that's why I'm still kind of like a little skittish on him.
Dude, see, he was a fade for me last year. Now for me, he's a buy. Pitts, fade for me last year. These are 2 to 3% or under guys. Najee, fade last year. I think he's a buy now. Also, we projected that they were going to touch up on the O-line in the draft. Yeah, I don't know what that Schultz pick was. That Schultz pick, like 30 picks before ADP. He's not on Dallas anymore. We can see Richardson's, like, when I first hopped on early today, it was like 500 lineups so far. Richardson was like 115. So he is a common riser. We could go Captain Kirk for some correlation. I do want to grab my second QB here to go along with Trevor Lawrence, because I think we're done if we do that.
Yeah.
And I mean, Richardson has, I think Danny Dimes just came off the board. He did. Richardson has rushing upside. Danny Dimes has rushing upside. I mean, 2 is sitting right here too. If 2 is there and we have Waddle, we probably just do that and we can grab a late A-chain. I like the back-to-back picks. I'm not going to lie. Because it's so hard to follow this BS as well. Jamal Williams, not a PPR guy. So again, casuals.
Yeah.
Tony, not a PPR guy. He's not going to have like a large target share of the offense. David Montgomery with Gibbs there, like, not going to be my favorite. Beautiful. Take Tony off the board. We love that. Realistically, I would like Tua.
Tony's a huge fade.
Yeah. I mean,
I think in the instance of correlation, you should go Tua. I think he's more likely
Richardson
to have those
is gonna
games.
Yeah, I think Richardson will end up in this range at 81, but where Tua fell 16 picks. Yep.
Yeah.
300-yard games. Check how many he had last season. Like, absolutely ridiculous. We have Deontay Johnson, who is a PPR monster.
Yeah.
Just sitting here. Who do we have for tight ends? Njoku. After Njoku, I think there's a severe
major fall
tier drop off. Like, Njoku's probably the last person that can hit 100 yards. So I could have been tickled into Njoku if Deontay Johnson isn't there. I'm going Njoku 10 out of 10 times. This will probably be, it's got to be at least a 3 tight end team. These are 20-round drafts as well. It's just so much easier to catch up at tight end than it is any other position late. It's kind of where the values are.
Yeah, I think overall with the tight end position, if you're not getting one of those top 3 guys, I don't see an issue with waiting till later. Because if you're just drafting one of those middle tier guys, the Njoku, the Freiermuth, the like Cole Kmet, those guys that are sitting right there, I think you're better off just grabbing 3 tight ends later in the drafts than you are just trying to take 2 of these guys, because they're most likely going to give you the same value.
Yeah, and you're probably still going to need 3 because it's a 20-round draft.
Right.
So I'm with you on that.
I mean, if you're not going Kelsey or Andrews, those first 2-3 rounds, then I'm waiting on tight ends all day.
That's the thing. Like, Kelsey has to smash to outpay his ADP right now. If the tight end 2 finisher overall can come within 10% of Kelsey, that is basically a smash on the number 2 overall. So if that's Pitts or whoever it may be, even Andrews at his ADP 2 full rounds later, that's an absolute smash. And that kind of means when you're picking Kelsey, it hurts you in a way. It really does. So
yeah, and
can he do it again? He can.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
but the risk is there.
Like, last year was one of those seasons where he just absolutely demolished anyone that was in that category as tight end. He had like 100 more fantasy points in the second place tight end position. So it's like
Lamar got hurt, Mark Andrews got hurt. It was a weird
tight end season.
It was a weird tight end season. Do we see a better tight end season this year?
I think we should. If you saw, like, Hawkinson played really well in Minnesota, and I think a full season there is going to do him justice. Kittle being healthy, hopefully the full season, I think will make a big difference there. And then Lamar obviously coming back, and they're bolstering the pass game a little bit. Should free up Andrews a little bit more to run around. So I think the tight ends will rise a little bit this year, but I mean, if Kelsey gets another one of those years, it's like you got to just question how many
Right.
more does he have in the tank?
I like, is he going to retire? No.
No.
Paul says Fryermuth's second year breakout candidate. I'm on board, dude. But until that Darnell Washington pick, now for half point PPR where touchdowns mean a lot more, Fryermuth takes a big hit with the addition of Darnell Washington in that draft. So we got A-Chain here at 119. I like Dylan as well. I'm not opposed to double tapping running back because it does fall off, and we do have 5 receivers. What do we have for tight ends in this range? I would realistically like to get like Chiggy to come back to us at 138. That should be possible.
Yeah.
He'd have to fall 6 picks, but
fall a little bit.
Njoku fell like 20 picks, so maybe Dylan's off the board. So A-Chain for the correlation. Do you like full point PPR? Quentin Johnston. I'm off Madison. Sorry.
I'm not on Madison either.
Myers is a PPR beast, but we don't know how he's going to do in Vegas.
New quarterback, new system. I mean, not entirely new system, but I like QJ a lot this year.
I was kind of expecting Hunter Renfrow to be traded in the draft after they brought in Myers, but he's not just a slot receiver.
Yeah, I think he should complement well with Adams over there, but I don't know if I fully trust Jimmy G.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, Chargers throw the ball second to none in the NFL. So if you're looking at just a sheer target standpoint, like I'm thinking QJ's gonna surpass 90 targets this year, even if he is the third option on that team, just with the health battles that Williams and Allen have had over the past few years. I'm thinking he should surpass well over 80 targets this year, if not into the hundreds, even as a third option.
We don't project injuries, right? But I mean, You can pretty much put it on the board. Mike Williams is missing at least 2 games this season. He's going to jump up in the air. He's going to land with the ball. He'll catch it for you. He'll get you a few points.
For sure.
But the guy's poor ankle. Get the guy some tape.
And I mean, it's tough to see because Herbert's been limited to like having second or third and fourth string receivers as his options out there. And the guy threw the ball 700 times last season. And
Herbert's great in these. He's absolutely great. 300 yards.
Gonna be the 300-yard bonus
champion.
Guy.
Yeah. At a value too. At a value. I think Trevor Lawrence is another one. We'll see. We'll see if Calvin Ridley is a shadow of himself, if he can even get to 80% of what he did a few years back when he was in Atlanta. That'll be very good for Trevor Lawrence this season. And based on the new ADPs that came out on Best Ball Mania, when that tournament dropped, they had Ridley ranked higher than they did on the big board.
Yeah. I like that offense a lot this year. I think they're going to do well. I think you're going to be in for a lot of 300-yard bonuses with Trevor Lawrence. There's a lot of weapons over there. Not as high on Zay Jones as a lot of other people are. Mm-hmm. I know he had a super kind of inflated season last year. It was kind of that shot in the dark season that he hadn't had in his career. Still struggles with drop passes, but just bringing in Calvin Ridley, adding him to that offense, Christian Kirk, ETN there. You have Evan Ingram. There's a lot of weapons for him to utilize. So I think that offense should do really well.
I agree. Definitely agree. I like the division as well.
Exactly. It's a very cushy division to be able to throw around.
So we have a 2-3-6 zero build so far. Definitely going 3 tight ends with this one. And White, Cam Akers, A-Chain at running back. So we definitely need to shore up the RBs, but we can definitely get there. Chiggy, come to Papa. Come to Papa. I like Mooney, to be honest, too. And running backs, Rashawn Johnson here, not expected to be a great full PPR guy, but we'll see. He should be out there on pass protection plays, so maybe a little pass protection into a dump off.
Yeah.
And he's someone that could really take over first and second down. There goes Chiggy Chigs. I mean, Higbee's always a good option in my opinion for tight ends. This guy's probably trying to get the Staffy Higbee stack too. Poor cat. I mean, we can pass on wide receiver here because we need a running back, and I think we have to bring in our first tight end. I'm completely off Mostert. I'm Jeff Wilson over Mostert right now.
I think I am too. And with the addition of A-Chain, it's just a crowded backfield now. They're all very similar in their play styles where they're like kind of pass catching running backs. I don't think you're going to see A-Chain line up, in the I formation very much. He's not a great between the tackles runner, but he's such a good like open space catch and run guy. I think that's what you're going to see him utilized a lot in. And that's kind of what like both of those other running backs thrived on. Like Mostert and Wilson were also like kind of those in space guys. So I think it's going to be a pretty crowded backfield in Miami.
It definitely will. In the A-Chain pick, it's so rich right now. The only reason I'm doing it really is because of the correlation with Tua, but it is rich, right? Like this is a guy that's going to have multiple games of 0 points, and then he'll have a blow up game, which is fine for PPR, but I do think we're overpaying. I mean, that's something that we talked about was going to happen anyways before the NFL draft, before he ran his 40 when he was going at like 165 on the first big board.
Yeah.
Kendre Miller goes. Not as excited for the playoff weeks with Kendre Miller in this format in half-point PPR with Kamara coming back.
Yeah.
Rashawn Johnson at least could work his way into that role.
Yeah. And I think Miller too, like even if you do see him just as like, the third down back, the goal to go, Jamal Williams is the guy there. Like Jamal Williams is second to Kamara. I don't think you're going to see a ton of usage from Kendre Miller, but I mean, I guess you never know.
Kendre can easily work his way into a role. We'll just kind of see. It's going to depend on health first off with the MCL injury.
Yeah.
I've been cooling off just a little bit on Kendre just due to the price tag going up. And is he really going to rise that far once you get good news? Like, I don't think so. He's already pretty expensive for Best Ball Mania. So I don't think there's really a risk to wait to draft him like later in the season. Although like I'm going to have my 8 to 10% Kendre. He was one of my favorite picks in the 18th round in the 20 round big board. Ended up with 26% Kendre. Smash landing spot, in my opinion. For half point.
And that's why like, drafting early has its downfalls and its upsides. It's a lot of the rookies, you don't know where they're going to fall. So if you're taking them 18th, 19th round all the time, constantly, like some of those are going to smash, other ones are going to fall off. And that's why it's your last round pick. So it doesn't really hurt you all that much.
It's true. And that's why you shoot for upside, like Chase Brown landing in Cincy.
Huge.
It's real big. It's real big. So let me go over our receivers again. I know we have strong receiver core. Jefferson, Wilson, Waddle, Kirk, Deontay Johnson, and Quentin Johnson. We got 2 Johnsons on the team. No dick jokes. All right. Nico Collins goes. Can we get McKinnon here, please?
Be a
He's so
huge snag.
close. He's so close, and he's here.
Yeah, all day.
We're going McKinnon, and that gives us who? Rashad White, Cam Akers, A-Chain, Rashawn Johnson. So I'm between Juwan Johnson or I don't think anyone's going to snipe Lenny, to be honest. If they didn't snipe McKinnon, I don't think we're in the sharpest room, to be honest, for full point PPR. So let's risk it. Let's have a little fun, live a little bit, smash the like button, and we're going to stop putting off our second tight end, I think. I just love Gallup, but half point PPR, full point PPR, not as much. And you also have to think, can these players spike and have a 100-yard game? Now, these tight ends, really, none of these tight ends can after, in my opinion. Who did we cut it off at? Njoku, I believe.
Yeah.
It's very unlikely that one of these does, but Tyler Higbee's a great full-point PPR tight end, 72 catches last season. No Staffy, obviously. Juwan Johnson. We'll see. We'll see what happens in New Orleans, but they didn't add a tight end, which should be good for Johnson.
And Derek Carr's played most of his career with Darren Waller and loves using the tight end. So
did they though? I know Waller was on the team. Did they play together a lot?
I mean, don't take away from what Waller did. He was hurt.
He had some good
but
seasons.
like
He had some good seasons.
Those first couple of years, he was a real big boom guy. So
we like big boom guys. And Waller is one of my favorite tight ends this season. So I'm not knocking him at all. Trust me. I think it's funny how everyone was willing to take Trey Lance at pick like 82 in the big board. And now people won't touch him at 165. Is that like some sort of like psychological trick?
I don't know, man. It's a lot of uncertainty in San Francisco. Who's going to be the starter? Is Trey Lance even going to be there at the start of the season?
That might be a good thing for Trey Lance, though.
It would be a great thing for Trey Lance, but
I don't think Shaheed's going to fall to us. But Shaheed's someone that can spike for 100 yards. Marvin Mims. I'm still taking Mims here and hoping that Sutton gets moved or Judy gets moved. And let's see who else. I like Tyquan Thornton. Hubbard's good for full point PPR. Deuce isn't bad. I'm going to want a correlated Deuce. No puns, guys. Van Jeffy's good. Trey McBride should be a pretty damn good full point PPR tight end. Yeah, he started coming on at the end of the season. So we'll see if that's all I care about. Give me players that are going to have high upside at the end of the season. Obviously, Kyler was hurt last year. And McBride, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe he was a top 3 finish tight end for week 17.
Yeah. No Zach Ertz in that lineup for a majority of the season, too. So,
yeah,
it's going to benefit him greatly.
Yeah, I will. Ooh, Mims goes early here at 188. I don't think Shaheed's going to fall to us. I'm down to go. I'm down to go Downs as well. One of these receivers and Lenny would be just stellar. We do have some correlation with Tank Bisbee if we did want to dance with the devil here in the rookie running back. But we have how many? If 1 rookie running back, 2 rookie running backs, I think that's enough, to be honest. We have enough upside. I just hate selecting rookie after rookie.
Yeah, it's tough because, I mean, they can all pop off, but the chances of that happening are pretty slim.
Right.
Of picking 3 rookie running backs that are all going to do well.
So Rondell Moore does get selected, which is fine. The big one's Lenny here. Full point PPR Lenny, if he finds any kind of landing spot. If he ends up on the Patriots, like he's still going to get 50, 60 catches.
Yeah.
So we'll go Josh Downs and we'll bring in Lenny here. So we have 3 picks left. At least one has to be a tight end.
Yeah.
Our QBs are Tua and Kirk. They're both correlated. We don't need a third QB.
I thought you had Lawrence.
Who did I say?
Kirk. Okay. Yeah.
Oh, thank you. We do have Kirk.
Kirk. Yeah, we have other Kirk.
Thank you. Trevor Lawrence and Tua. Correlated.
Yeah. Very good.
Copy. Math. Baby.
Yep.
Lack of sleep.
There we go. Dad duties.
7's dad duties is for real, though. I think we just go 1 running back, 1 receiver, and 1 tight end. To be honest, I think that's going to give us the perfect balance here.
Yeah. And I think for the tight end position, if you land with either McBride or Conklin, I like both those guys as a third option. Mm-hmm. Obviously, we know Rodgers is now in New York. Pretty good value there. Mm-hmm. Going to see a lot of passing situations. Going to see a lot of red zone passing situations where the tight end's going to come out, find that end zone. It's what Rodgers' bread and butter was.
Gone.
They're listening to the stream.
You spoke them into existence. Trey McBride, Jelani, Hunter Henry are kind of my guys. Now full point PPR, definitely not Noah Fant. Jelani probably under Hunter Henry. Just like the Patriots didn't add a lot in New England, so
they added Gesicki. I don't know how much of a hindrance that's going to be on Hunter Henry. I know Gesicki's wasn't the greatest blocker, so they're not going to use him in blocking situations. He's going to be the passing tight end. If Henry takes a toll, if he takes a drop off in targets, that's pretty bad because his targets as a whole were not great since coming to New England.
That's why getting that discount already.
Yeah.
Let's see what we got here for wide receivers. We do have some absolute sleeps, like Nathaniel Dell, not someone I'm taking in half point PPR, but full point PPR in Houston should find a nice role in the slot. I know you like Dell.
Huge on Dell. Don't love the landing spot there. Thought he could have ended up in maybe 31 other teams that would have been better for him, but
come on. Come on.
Nah, he's a natural just playmaker. I was really high on him coming out of the draft. He's a really good receiver. Quietly led the nation in touchdowns. So he just knows how to get into the end zone. He's got a knack for scoring touchdowns, but I like him a lot. I think he could be a sneak smash pick in Houston.
Yeah. Last round. Did someone select him? Nope. He's still there. Trey McBride off the board. There's no way he was falling back to us. That would have been insane.
Yeah.
I wish it showed their ADP here. It's just such a bad layout, but it doesn't even matter. I'm going to smash all 150 of these. Have to. There's just, you have people doing parlays. You have people doing, which they're doing that on Underdog too, but DraftKings is not known for best ball. So it's extremely light. New contest comes out. Ooh, $10 million, big prize pool, shiny. People just jump right in. These are people that just bet on fantasy soccer and stuff. All right. Taekwon, are you going to be there for me? You just someone just selected Devontae Parker before Taekwon. Imagine
APR
the resurgence maybe, of Devontae Parker.
But
I like the Richie James pick here. That's sharp. These are our last 2 picks, right? No, we got one more pick after this. Tyquan Thornton gets sniped right before us. I'm cool with Nathaniel Dell here.
I like it. And with the tight end
And
position too, like I've heard some rumors of Shoemaker, the rookie out of Dallas. Like he might make some waves over there. Might have some trouble for Ferguson.
mhm,
Um, I don't know how valid what I'm reading is, but he's an athletic tight end that's a good pass catcher, and obviously losing Dalton Schultz might not be a bad, just kind of late round flyer.
yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Another one like a late round flyer if you absolutely need a third tight end and you're just playing off the narrative and maybe you have Daniel Jones and you want to correlate him a little bit at the end. Maybe you take the bet that Waller gets hurt and you drafted
Yeah,
Bellinger, right?
yeah.
Playing
Take
off
the safe
narratives.
bet that Waller gets hurt.
Oh,
That was below the belt.
why do you
Sorry.
gotta do that? Why you gotta do that?
Sorry.
So what do we do? Do we do another giveaway for this tournament? 3 Roger Goodell clown nose towels for the top 3 finishers in DK.
Love it. I
All right,
love it.
it's official. Another one. I ordered way too many towels. Just bought them all of them off of eBay.
Still got mine right here. Can't see it on the stream right now, but it's there. I promise.
Let's go. He's there in
We have,
spirit.
we have the technical difficulties that we're dealing with over here right now, but we'll get it fixed. We'll be up. We'll be back and running.
Is it your PC or is it?
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. The startup just gives me an error. Not good. It just says error, unable to start up.
Bring it to the Geek
Quitting.
Squad. Bring it to the Geek Squad.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Tell them you'll draft their fantasy football team for them if you
Yeah,
if they fix
exactly.
it. So last pick here. Let me just check. So our 3 tight ends are Higbee. It's not pretty. Higbee, Juwan Johnson, and Hunter Henry. I think that's fine. And based on like who's left, it's not like Darnell Washington's not going to be a PPR guy. Like you're basically hoping he gets 2 touchdowns, 3 catches for 21 yards. Like that's
Yeah.
his big game of the season.
Yeah.
Pat Freiermuth is going to take most of the snaps there. Like he'll be a red zone guy, but I don't think that's worth.
He's just a freak. Like he's
I think
huge.
Oh yeah, I think for this lineup though, we're just going to get more points out of it with the running back. Someone that smashes late, maybe like a McBride. Maybe they, like McBride better as a number 2 over Madison, and that'd be a smash pick. Maybe Cook gets hurt. Eric Gray, I like. He's pretty sneaky. Anyone down here that doesn't have an ADP yet? Matt Breida. I guess he's the guy that's technically behind Saquon right now, but in full point PPR, I like Eric Gray. Kyron Williams, kind of a sneaky draft winner, but we'll see what happens with Zach Evans. He could easily take that job from him. They clearly didn't love him last year at Kyron.
Yeah. I mean, Chase Edmonds also isn't a bad play. Number 2 running back in Tampa Bay. He's always been a pass catcher. His ceiling isn't, insanely high, but his floor is also not going to be lower than some of these other guys that are out there.
Right.
Consistent throughout his career. Had a 1 pop-off season in Arizona, but as a number 2 back, like ADP around 230.
Yeah. Who do you like out of this group? I'm sort of leaning towards McBride. I know you have some shares of Chris Evans.
I have 1 share of Chris Evans.
All right, fair. Dart throw.
Absolute dart throw.
Khalil Shakur was still there. It's pretty nuts. At 239, probably shouldn't happen. Let's just see who's Tim Patrick's still there. 8 receivers. Do we get more points out of Tim Patrick with this lineup or just McBride? Take a shot.
I think you take the shot. The chances of Patrick really ever cracking that lineup
in full point PPR, yeah, I kind of agree, especially after they draft Mims. If they don't move Judy or Sutton's, Patrick could lose his job for red zone stuff, and the end of the season.
Yeah.
These ADPs, just to touch on this, are just basically copy and pasted from Underdog, and that's not a. It's good for us because we know how to identify the PPR guys, the guys who can hit the 100-yard bonus, the 300-yard passing bonus. But people are just basically kind of. I can't even explain it. I can't even explain it. We're ending up with really strong teams. Let's peek at this one. Jalen Hurts, Stevenson, Najee Harris, AJ Brown, JSN, Traylon Burks, Goddard. So we have the double stack with Jalen Hurts here. Deontay Johnson, who I just can't get enough of in full point. AJ Dillon, Geno to go along with JSN. Chiggy, Tyler Boyd, Skyborn, Jerick McKinnon, Chase Brown, Wandell Robinson, Van Jefferson, Trey McBride, Dell, Kyron Williams. Bad pick.
Love it.
I'll admit it.
It's all right.
And let's see the last one. Or this is my first one, technically, I guess. Jared Goff with Gibbs, Cam Akers, Cooper Kupp, Amon-Ra St. Brown shouldn't be allowed. Chris Olave, Kyle Pitts, JSN, Gabe Davis, Damien Harris wasn't my favorite pick after I made it. Jacoby Myers, Gibson is solid in this full point PPR. Mayer, Staffy, Garoppolo, Chase Brown, Van Jeffy, Eric Ray, Hunter Henry, Nathaniel Dell. So definitely high on Dell in full point PPR at the end here. This is a nice little ram with Van Jeffy and Staffy. We got Jimmy Garoppolo with Mayer and Myers. And if that's not good enough, we have the goof with Gibbs and Amon-Ra St. Brown. Just a really well-correlated team. We got a little double here in Buffalo. So we're trying. We're still out here grinding. Trying to bring you guys new content. I absolutely love these DraftKings drafts. If you guys can let us know in the comments if you like these DraftKings drafts, it's just like a little change of pace because I want to put a lot of these online. They're just super soft right now. The competition's soft. I think there's a lot of money to be had. So I thank everyone for coming out. If you guys haven't already, Tyler's new on Twitter. I'll drop his Twitter here. It's FDP Tyler, right?
Yes, sir.
Give him a follow. Get him up to 10 followers on Twitter.
Up to 10. Yeah, we're less than like 5 days into this Twitter adventure. So
yeah, he's new. He's new.
We're new.
That a boy. That a boy. And if you guys can drop a like on the way out, we appreciate everyone. And we'll see you guys on the next one. Love the drafts. Hate the format. I agree. Tyler, you got anything for the Pounders before we leave?
Hey, just keep your eye out for a couple of shorts that are going to be coming out this week and just subscribe. Tell your friends.
That a boy. Pounders.